Hey everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of the CD and Vinyl Guys. I got my good buddy Chris Propfe here. He drove all the way down from Poughkeepsie, New York to come be here where I am in Bloomfield, New Jersey. And we hit up a record store today. So I thought it'd be a lot of fun if we actually go through the loot that we got. We both got 10 items and we've been
we were at the record store for over 2 hours.
That's right.
So
and the record store, Sound Exchange, right? You guys have seen me do a video on this. Let's go to the record store. It's in Wayne, New Jersey. And I'm sporting their shirt because they were kind enough to give me one. But man, that store, if you haven't seen that or you're not familiar with the record store that we're talking about, I'm going to leave a link to the video for the Let's Go to the Record Store experience that I did at Sound Exchange. You can check it out. I mean,
yeah.
You just experienced it for the first time. Tell me your thoughts on it.
Well, like I said, we were there for
at least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours. And I had to stop myself from buying. We each bought 10 things.
I know.
So we're each going to be showing 10,
And most of you guys know that I've already been a couple times earlier this week. This was my fourth visit this week.
They had so many great releases. I had to put back a lot of stuff. And I noticed with the CDs, he had a lot of, out-of-print CDs.
Right.
A lot of CDs you just don't see everywhere. Japanese pressings. He even had a lot of bootlegs and things there.
Yeah.
Just a lot of cool stuff that you don't see everywhere.
And the whole store, it centers around rock, whether it's punk rock, hard rock, metal, classic rock, alternative rock, it's there. So when you walk into most music stores, they have a small section that is the kind of style that you like best. And then they've got other stuff usually. Right. And this, it was like, whether you're looking for the vinyl, CDs, I mean, they had cassettes. It was like, it's all the kind of music that we like. And another thing that we both found is this store lives and breathes it. They were playing rock music in there. The guy behind the counter was talking to us, having a good time. I mean, I felt like I was back in a store from 30 years ago. It was so good.
Yeah, it was funny because I pulled out a Nectar CD and come to find out, 5 minutes later, he puts on a Nectar album.
Yeah.
So he saw me looking at the Nectar, which sort of cued him to go, oh, hey, let's put on some Nectar. So like Brendan was saying, they were totally living and breathing the whole experience. Yeah.
Well,
which was cool.
Based on that in and of itself, you got a Nectar CD.
I got a Nectar CD.
So let's start with that because we're going to show you guys what we got.
Yeah. So I had this on vinyl a while back. This is Nectar Down to Earth. This was used. I think it was like $6, I want to say. But, it was in great condition. And I got rid of the vinyl at one point because I think it just wasn't in, I don't know, the condition that I wanted it to be in. I'm kind of, like both of us, we like things to be in that pristine condition. So I wanted to pick it up. So I found the CD today. So
in 1974?
I believe so, yeah. And, Nectar, just a great progressive rock band.
Yeah. And I've had Nectar recommended to me a lot. It never clicked for some reason.
Yep.
You were talking it up to me. Yep. I didn't even realize that's what we were listening to, and I was really digging it.
Yeah.
So on the same used rack was this one, and you suggested I pick it up. And when I go to these places, I have headphones, and I have a
good idea.
A streaming service. So I checked it out, and I have to say, it just was the perfect thing at the perfect moment. So this is my first Nectar album here. Remember the Future. And
only 2 songs on it.
Yeah, it's only 2 songs, 1973. But the first one is 16 minutes and 40 seconds, and the second one is 18 minutes and 58 seconds. But it is a reissue. It's got 2 bonus tracks, so super excited about that. But yeah, my first foray into Nectar, and I know a lot of you guys like them out there, so I'm going to be exploring them now.
I still can't believe I'm sitting in front of the Wall of Wonder.
Yes, the Wall of Wonder. And Chris...
I'm here at the Wall of Wonder.
That's right. And Chris has been enjoying it, discussing all the things that were in it before.
Well, I was saying, just these CDs alone would be an amazing collection, let alone all the stuff he's got in boxes, too.
Right.
So I found this gem. I'm a big Monkees fan. And I found this 10-inch. And these are all the B-sides that didn't appear on the Good Times album. And this was limited edition for the B-sides all collected together And they call it red vinyl, but it's more of like a pink vinyl. But I had never seen this before. This was a record store day release.
2016, you said,
from 2016.
So this thing's 6 years old already. It was sealed.
Sealed, yeah.
And they had it.
Yeah, I was not expecting to find that. I just happened to go to the monkey section. So I'm like, yep, that's sold. Picking that up.
And unfortunately, when I saw that he had it, I super wanted it myself.
Yeah,
so
I'm like, sorry, there's no more copies.
So that was the one thing within all of this here, that you got something out of this that I'm really jealous of. But, you know, that's what happens when two music fans go to it together.
Yeah, check those hype stickers out, too.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to hunt this one down myself now and see. Yeah. I didn't even know it was out either, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so looking forward to getting this on the turntable. It's going to be really cool. Yeah.
All right, let me throw up another one. So, you know, as I mentioned, I'd already been there 3 times earlier. This is my 4th time this week, kind of a thing. I'd hit up so many different areas, but there was one area within the store that I hadn't gone through, and it was this used section up front. And I went through it, and I didn't get all the way up until the ends before I really had found something. Of course, that Nectar, but that wasn't the first thing. And it's this. Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes, a 1986 solo album from him, and definitely not one of his most popular ones, but one that I had been looking for a long time. $7.98, pristine condition. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's something that I've looked to buy through like Amazon Marketplace, and it's just not available. And then to find it in this store, just in a used section, nothing special. I was super excited. So for me, if nothing else, this was my big find and totally worth getting. You know,
and what's great, it was used and in good condition, because sometimes you go to the used section and things are beat up or whatever. So that was cool to find that.
And I have to say, not most, I mean, pretty much anything I pulled out of there was in really good condition. So they obviously take care in what they're buying used from people, and they're not just sticking, you know, bad stuff in there.
Well, this was brand new. I took the, you know, the plastic wrap off, but this is a band called All, and this is a single of theirs for She's My Ex, and it's backed with a song that did not appear on the album called Crazy. So that was the main reason I bought this. Now, All is, if you're familiar with the band Descendants, when Descendants sort of folded and morphed into a different band, they became All. And basically what happened is they just switched lead singers and they became a different band. So they're basically a pop punk band. And this is on the Cruise label. And Cruise is basically SST. So
yeah, we all know the SST.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into, you know, I'll say Green Day. If you're into Green Day, you would like All. Just a really cool single to find.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the Descendants. I didn't realize that that was the connection with All. And I'll have to now check that out. What year is this?
This is, I don't know, 1990 something.
90?
You can read the date. The older I get, it's harder to read these days.
89.
But it's cool because it came with this SST catalog too.
Oh, I love those.
So
from back in the day.
Yeah, so it shows you all the bands that are on the label. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
See, back in the day before the internet, 1989, there was a thing called mail order. Yeah. And there's the thing, you know. And I did a few of those things where you would get these and you would realize there was something else and you could mail off for it and so forth. So.
But I will say this song should have been huge. And if you listen to it, you'll know what I'm talking about. The song is called She's My Ex. It should have been a huge hit.
Yeah, probably just the fact that it was 1989. I mean, if that had happened in 1994, we'd be in a whole different world.
Yeah,
probably.
They were. And I always say that if it wasn't for Descendants and All, there would have been no Green Day.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
Or any of those bands. Yeah. So.
All right, next one up. So right now I'm sticking with ones that I'd gotten in the used section, and they were having a sort of promotion thing going on where it was buy 3,
get 2 free.
Get 2 free. So I've got 5 of these that I'm going through, and the next one up being Poco. So this one here called Legacy 1989. Also, seems like we're getting on a bunch of things from the 89 era. Was a reunion album and featuring you know, Randy Meisner in here coming back, Richie Furay, Jimmy Messina, Rusty Young, George Grantham. So quite the lineup there back together doing this, and this definitely has that late 80s, early 90s, very well produced sort of sound, not quite as country or folk as the early Poco, but that's actually why I liked it. That's why I went and picked it up. So very happy about that.
Well, that was the first time I had heard that album, and it's really good. I dig it.
Yeah, we were playing it. I mean, Right now I'm in the used stuff, but we were peeling all these things open as soon as we got in, and just like a couple of 15-year-olds sitting down in front of the stereo, we're popping on our new things and listening to it. And we've explored a lot of this already, and
definitely
had so much fun.
Well, that's what we were saying. There's no like we could be 15 years old right now. This is what we would have been doing at 15. We're just a little bit older than
right.
That, so
just a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
but we're still doing the same thing.
Less hair,
yeah,
and a little bit older.
I found this Dead Milkmen album called Now We're 20. So obviously it was to celebrate their 20th year as a band, and it contains some some unreleased stuff, some outtakes, some stuff from other compilations. And this is on the Ryko label.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that is kind of hard to see in the camera, but Ryko...
Oh, with the green?
Yeah, when they released the Frank Zappa stuff, too, it was like a green tinge to the...
All of the Ryko disc things were green.
Yeah.
Originally. Like I said, I don't think the Ryko label is still around.
But I haven't seen... I've seen this compilation, but it's been a long time.
31 tracks.
Yeah, and I think it's... This one's hard to find, and that's what I'm telling you. This store had a lot of these just sitting there. And, it's like, okay, I'm going to buy that because I never see it anywhere.
Oh, yeah. I've walked away with a ton of those.
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't have, like, the hits like Punk Rock Girl or things like that, but it's got, like I said, some unreleased stuff, some songs from, various compilations.
Right.
And things like that. So cool find.
And it's came out in 2003, and we're at 2022. So it's Now We're 20. They need a Now We're 40.
Now We're 40. Yeah. Maybe they'll come out with one. We'll see.
Next year. Who knows?
Yeah.
And so on that idea of having a lot of things that you just don't see anywhere and you don't get, I finally found this Rolling Stones compilation, which is just called Made in the Shade. 10 tracks. I mean, there's nothing here that's you can't get anywhere else, but these out of print albums, or in this case, it's compilation, but it's like, and I found it in the used section, $7.99 or $8.99, for the thing.
And that hasn't been reissued or anything, right? It hasn't been remastered or anything like they're.
It may have been on a previous round, but if so, that's out of print too.
Because I never see that.
Oh
anymore.
yeah. So it's like I haven't either. So I don't know if they ever did a remastered version. They may well have. I'm sure you guys could answer that question. I'll look it up after this, so I will already know by the time you're commenting.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to tell me like it's the first time I'm finding out, but no, I as soon as when I have these thoughts on it like this, I'll be looking this up later when I'm listening to it and getting all that info. But I'm okay whether it's in this case it's not a remaster one because I never see it anywhere.
Yeah.
If I find a remaster one, I'll pick it up and I'll replace it. You know,
or just keep both of them.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Halloween? Well, then you would like Michael Kiske. That's how you pronounce it.
Kiske? Okay.
Kiske, or how do you say it?
I say Kiske, but apparently I've been saying it wrong.
Kiske, tomato.
Right.
Basically, he's the lead singer of Halloween because he's now singing with them again.
Right.
This is one of his solo records. I had another one of his solo albums. I can't remember the title of it. But Brennan was saying that I would dig this one, so I picked it up. It doesn't sound anything like Halloween. It's got more of like a
melodic rock vibe,
melodic modern rock sort of vibe. But you can definitely tell that it's his vocals, and he's a great singer, whether he's doing the power metal or stuff like this.
Yeah, so he's just not hitting those high registers and singing the way that he does with Halloween, but that even keel that he would sing, and he did do with Halloween too, that's still the vocal style. So he hasn't changed his voice any. This was just a period where he was really trying to distance himself from it.
And this is on Frontiers Records. And I know that they were releasing a lot of the stuff from the 80s bands, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, no, they've been signing all those groups and everything, and that's where they are with it.
Yeah, but if you like his vocals, I would definitely try to seek out his solo records. Again, I'd never see this anywhere.
Yeah.
I saw it today. I'm like, okay,
and
I'll add it to the stack.
And it was sealed brand new.
Yeah, I think it was like $15.
Right.
So, which I don't think is a bad deal.
Not at all.
So...
All right, completing out the 5 used ones that I bought. Robert Plant... Fate of Nations. So completing my collection of the jewel case editions, because I do have the box set that has all of these in it, but for whatever reason this one was super hard to come by. It's a fantastic album. I could find any of the others. Fate of Nations was just one that I guess people didn't want to part with. I don't know, and it is that good of an album in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we're listening to it downstairs. It's a really, really good album. I found a couple Meat Puppets albums on vinyl. And I've been picking up more of their things. I really like the Meat Puppets. I saw them live a couple years ago. And like I was telling Brendan, they're kind of doing more of like an Americana country folky thing now. Now, I don't know about these albums, though. I haven't listened to them, but I saw them today. They were a great price. And again, I don't see these on vinyl. So the first one I picked up was Rat Farm.
And this one was like you said, $16.99, $17.99?
Yeah, this is from 2013. Is that what it says there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like normally these would be at least 20, right? So I mean, just a good price, you know, in and of itself. And this part I like.
Yeah, and check that vinyl out.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
This is on the Megaforce label too, and a lot of times, you know, we think of Megaforce as being metal, but obviously they've signed some other band. I think They Might Be Giants was signed to.
Goo Goo Dolls were on Megaforce.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like, you know,
so Megaforce was obviously trying to branch out and sign some other bands.
Right.
But the Meat Puppets are a great band.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, most people know the connection through Nirvana and the Unplugged and covering several of the Meat Puppets songs, and of course, Kirk, I don't remember his last name, you know, coming on and guesting and that sort of stuff.
Kirkwood,
which was, you know, that's how I found out about them, kind of a thing. Yeah. So, and a lot of people did.
They were kind of like a band's band. Like the bands knew about them.
Right.
But like even people who know music, it kind of took us a while to get into them.
Sure, right.
So, but they're a cool band.
They are. All right, got a Rick Wakeman album. That's this is a reissue, but it's now out of print again. This was reissued in 2017, but it's the 1977 album Criminal Record. So at its time, 77, and then being reissued in 2017. Is that 40 years? Yeah.
Yeah, you're better at math than I am.
So, but it's funny. It's on A&M Records, and it's already out of print again, and yet this is sealed in plastic. And $13.98. So
I noticed there weren't a lot of songs on there. Is it like a?
They're very long.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's Rick Wakeman of Yes, so we know how he does those. But yeah, 6 songs are on here. But you guys know my affinity for prog rock and especially Yes.
Right.
So I was super excited to find that. I'd bought a little box set of Rick Wakeman albums.
Yeah.
And this is the album that came out, I believe, right after the King Arthur album, which is one that he's famous for. And yet, that was not in it. They skipped over it and put other ones in the box. This was not included, so I was kind of bummed by that.
And now you have it.
And now I have it, yeah.
So I came across this. I was just talking about They Might Be Giants. This was sealed. This is called They Got Lost. And that's the back. And the title says here, a compilation of rarities. So obviously, these are things that did not appear on albums. I'm a big They Might Be Giants fan. I'm actually going to see them in September.
Oh, great.
At a place called Daryl's House, which is owned by Daryl of Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Nice.
And so They Might Be Giants will be there. I don't know if they're going to play any songs from this album.
Right.
But I saw this and...
very cool.
I couldn't remember whether I had it or not. I kept telling you.
I know.
I'm like, do I have this already? And once I bought it and opened it and looked at the pictures inside, I'm like, no, I don't have this album. So
which is
this was a great find too.
And good that you decided to take the chance and go ahead and do it, because as you know, you're traveling down to visit this record store and so forth. If you'd gone home and realized you didn't have it, you know.
21 songs though, so quite a bit of stuff on there.
Lots of good music there. All right, I picked up this Steve Vai Presents Western Vacation. So this was also sealed. I went ahead and opened it because we were listening to it. Chris also likes Frank Zappa. So these are guys from the band, and they apparently done this. I think this was a late 80s album. I don't know if it got released or never got released, but reissued here by Steve Vai on his Favored Nations label. And I have a copy of this, but it was like a poorly done reprint.
Right.
Said to be official and everything, but it's just nothing like this.
Yeah.
And so I was glad to get one on the Favored Nations that's, you know, really well done the way it was meant to be. And Favored Nations is Steve Vai's record label. Yeah. So glad to get that and swap out the one that I have for this.
Yeah, we were listening to that too. And again, if you like Frank Zappa stuff, you're going to love that. And, you know, I told you it reminded me of Al Di Meola.
Right. So I'm not very familiar with that. That's someone that had been recommended to me a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it didn't click with me. So like Nectar, I'm going to give it another try.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of excited now because you were telling me how close it was to what we were listening there. And if that's the case, I got somebody new to go fully explore because I don't know anything.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Al Di Meola can shred.
Okay.
That guy is I mean, he's technically a jazz guitarist, but...
And I think that's what's kept me away for so long.
Yeah, he rocks too.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so something completely different, the Thompson Twins. Now, I'm not a
Good
huge...
difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Thompson Twins. I just ordered Into the Gap. I think that's what the name of the album is, from eBay. And I was looking for this as well. And I'm like, I don't know if they have any Thompson Twins. So Brendan's like, well, you didn't look down in this section. And underneath all the CDs, there's more CDs. And so he found Thompson Twins for me. And this was the album that I was looking for. And this has some bonus tracks on it as well. This is called Quick Step and Sidekick. But I was excited to find this. They also had a expanded version of Into the Gap.
2 CD version.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I like the Thompson Twins that much, so I didn't get that, but I wanted to definitely pick this up.
No year on the back of it.
Yeah, it was it was 80-something.
But 80-something.
But the Thompson, this had the hit Lies on it.
Okay.
But Thompson Twins, you know, they definitely are synth pop.
Right.
And, but they're good.
Their big hit was Hold Me Now?
Hold Me Now.
Yeah, so...
when I listen to them, too, they almost have, like, a world music sound to
definitely. The
too.
drums and everything and the beats that were
so it's like world music meets synth pop.
Right, right.
But you guys know who the Thompson Twins are.
Lots of good stuff. Okay, Phil Lynott, Yellow Pearl. It's a compilation. Obviously, lead vocalist for Thin Lizzy. 20 tracks on here. But it's also got B-sides and rarities. What I liked about it is it's got a track on here from Grand Slam, the project he did after leaving Thin Lizzy. It's got Parisian Walkways, the track that he did with Gary Moore. It's on a Gary Moore album, but now on a compilation. So I was pretty excited about that, even though I've got the 2 solo albums. Yeah. Let me pop the disc out, actually, because there's 2 great photos of him in here.
He's got a great voice.
Oh, he does.
He's one of those guys that he could just sing the phone book and I'd buy it. So
right?
It's just awesome.
Yeah, so definitely excited about that too.
I told you guys I bought a couple Meat Puppets albums. This was the other one I bought. This is called Sewn Together. And I had never seen this before. So, you know, I jumped on the chance to get it. This is also another gatefold.
Very nice.
Got the lyrics inside. But then Brennan and I opened it up and we saw this.
Yeah. It blows away even the other one.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you almost just want to hang those on the wall. Like, they are gorgeous.
Yeah. And, you know, another album that I didn't really know about, and they had it.
Yeah.
So, and this was another good price. I think it was like $16 or something like that.
Exactly. I mean, that's been the thing here is that, yes, there are some, you know, expensive Japanese things and stuff like that, which will lead me into this next one here.
Right.
So Extreme, an EP called Running Gag. It's 5 tracks, and yes, you can see the price there on the back, $29.98. So an EP at $30, that is expensive. I get that.
Yeah.
Japanese, still sealed in the original plastic, has never been opened. It was $30 originally.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. This here in particular, the reason I'm excited about it is that the first track that's on here, Unconditionally, which is off of the Waiting for the Punchline album, this EP was done at the same time in '95 to promote it, is the drummer, Mike Mangini, who's of course now in Dream Theater, who is drumming for them, didn't drum on the entire album, but he added drums to this track for the single version of this EP of it. So there's a remix of it with his drums added in. It's also an edited version, so something different about it. Has 3 live tracks, and then the 5th track that's on here is an unreleased song that is, can't read it through the plastic, When Will It Rain? The song's called When Will It Rain. Okay. And it's never made it on anything.
I like the OB strip on it too.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You know, if you're going to get these, you got to get the OBI strip with it, kind of a thing. So that got that.
Very cool.
Right?
And my last one, this was the first CD I saw when I was there, and I happened to look up into the Monkeys section, and I saw this, and I'm like, Brendan, what in the heck is this? I've never seen this before. Mickey Dolenz Plastic Symphony EP. It's just got 4 songs. This is a box that it's encased in, so the CD case, you know, is the same thing pretty much. So we were doing research on site. We were like looking up online and trying to find out some stuff. There's not a lot of information about it, but on the inside credits, it shows that Mickey Dolenz wrote these back in 1965. So these were pre-Monkeys.
Right.
So these, obviously these are songs that he recorded maybe to try to get himself a record deal or to get noticed by bands. But there are 2 instrumental tracks on here, and there are 2 tracks with vocals. But they're pretty good.
It's good. I was really surprised. I thought, okay, something that hasn't been released for however long, and it's 1965. It's before he figured out who he was.
It's a German pressing, which is cool.
But I have to say, I like it.
Yeah, and we were looking at some of the other compilations that Mickey has come out with, just to make sure none of these songs were on those. And these songs are not on any of those compilations.
The 7A label, right?
So, so I don't know where these songs came from. I'm going to hopefully try to do some more research on this. But I thought this was a cool find.
It's a very cool find.
Yeah. And I'm a huge Monkees fan, so to find that.
Yeah, I mean, getting 2 Monkees things today alone is pretty great.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one I've got here is another sort of prog rock thing, Captain Beyond. And this is Lost and Found 1972 to 73 demos. And as it says, it's got an unreleased song on it, which is the first track that's on here. So the song Uranus Highways, previously unreleased song from that era. And then 10 tracks total. They're all demos, so they are studio that's on here. Because they've been re-releasing some live archival stuff. But some studio demos. And I mean, just look at that cover.
Yeah.
I mean,
Captain Beyond had great covers.
Oh, they did. And it's like, I see that, and I'm like, you got to buy it just for that, if nothing else. But... we got Rod Evans on here, from former Deep Purple vocalist, right? Lee Dorman is
from
on
Iron
here.
Butterfly.
Iron Butterfly. Then we got Rhino on drums and Bobby Caldwell on here as well.
So they're kind of like a super group.
1398.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got new product. They've got, Japanese stuff. They've got used stuff. We both obviously are very impressed with the store.
Definitely.
We're not saying it because of any sort of promotion or whatever that they're doing.
Nope.
This is just, we have found a music store that we really love.
Like if we went back there now, I'd find probably at least 10 more things.
Yeah, right. Well, we eventually...
And then I'd go back tomorrow, I'd find another 10 more things.
We had to cut ourselves off at a certain point because it was like, we just kept finding it.
Yeah.
Every bit that we were in there a little bit longer, we found stuff. But very happy with what I got. I know you are too. Those are the finds that we got. So we will wrap it up here, but so hopefully you guys got some good ideas out of that. Maybe you want to go search out one of these bands, or you didn't know about something, just the same way when we were going through this, we found stuff that we didn't know about.
Yep.
So, all right, everyone, take care. Have a great day. CD and Vinyl Guys will return. We'll talk to you all soon.
Adios.
Bye-bye, guys.